This is the first ever trailer made for Roblox. It's pretty simple. You could best describe it as Shedletsky showing off some games and mechanics from Roblox's infancy back in 2006. Since then, not much from this trailer has survived to today, especially not its games. So which ones have? When watching the trailer, the first thing you see is a screenshot of a player overlooking a partially destroyed Crossroads map with the caption, "Adventure awaits." It's up for less than a second before cutting to actual gameplay. Crossroads' life began with Roblox's two founders, David Baszucki and Eric Castle, in mid-2006. Early on, little was recognizable of Crossroads. In fact, the game wasn't even named Crossroads. The map was fairly empty and reused builds from the developers' other projects. On top of that, the only available weapons were the RPG and Slingshot. Despite featuring so little, Crossroads was published as Roblox's first multiplayer game under the title Brick Battle. When Shedletsky joined in June, he accelerated Crossroads' development by adding more tools and areas, all ultimately revamped in August with much of the game looking very similar to how it finally ended up. Gradual additions, and removals, from then to May of 2007 essentially completed Crossroads with all of its tools and builds, though the trailer's footage of Crossroads would only show the game state through November, also showing previous versions of Crossroads. Crossroads was immensely popular even years after its release, only starting to massively decline in 2014. Better, newer fighting games took the spotlight and Crossroads was left riddled with hackers. One of those games was Roblox Battle. Created in 2012 by Roblox themselves, it began as a modernized version of Crossroads. Later, it expanded to have more game modes and maps. Roblox Battle was uncopy-locked soon after this expansion and last updated in 2015, but 3 years later another developer picked up the mantle and released a Roblox Battle 2018 edition, which was replaced 3 years later to little fanfare. A Connor 3D YouTube video about the replacement has more views than the game has visits. In the meantime, the original Crossroads wasn't doing too great. The game was even taken down in 2017 to be updated with modern Roblox features, and it came back to a tiny increase in player counts. Those eventually fell back down, and in the early 2020s, Crossroads saw minuscule player counts. In 2024, however, came the classic event, which many thought Crossroads had something to do with. Nope! Don't get me wrong, Crossroads is an icon of old Roblox, and today you can find it in many games outside of the version on the Roblox profile. Really, how many people are playing the original game doesn't matter. Compared to every other game from this trailer, it's been doing great. Mustafar was created in September of 2006 by a player named Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was an alternate account of Stealth Pilot, who contributed heavily to the landscape of early Roblox and had multiple accounts. Mustafar is inspired by the Star Wars planet Mustafar, a fiery, volcanic hell that happened to be the fateful location of a battle between a Jedi and a new Sith Lord. Stealth Pilot prized this map, which featured a small base on the planet and gave players a few brick battle weapons. Mustafar was a hit among early Robloxians. However, the game's time in the sun didn't last too long, as past 2007 it was eclipsed in popularity and quality even just by some of Stealth Pilot's games. In the months after publishing Mustafar, Stealth Pilot became a Roblox admin and was active in the coming years, developing and collaborating on many popular games from the Undead Coming to the Pirates of the Robloxian series, which are accessible, but not exactly playable, through the Stealth Archives game. In 2012, Stealth Pilot's account was compromised twice, first during the infamous April Fool's incident, and again later in July, which ultimately led to the account's 6-year-long termination. In 2018, he got his account back, and 2 years later changed the username to Scorpio Pilot, losing the space in his username. In 2024, now Scorpio Pilot was terminated once again. The concept of Star Wars games was never lost to Robloxians, and plenty of games even just surrounding the planet Mustafar have been created in the 2 decades since Stealth Pilot first did. Stairway to Heaven is a game by the user Tingsy222, containing a small town and a stairway to heaven for which the game is named. The town has a condo, church, house, and park, though the park hadn't been added yet by the time Shedletsky uploaded his trailer. The park was added sometime between May and August of 2007. The long stairway leads to a small translucent home furnished with only a bed and a table. There is a balcony though. The game was created in September of 2006 and had a huge amount of detail for a game of that era. So much so, in fact, it would lag many players' computers on pure part count. If you felt like adding some extra havoc on top of that, the game provided you with a few tools that would satiate your needs. Stairway to Heaven was quite well remembered by players, not nearly as much as Crossroads, but certainly more than Mustafar. Tingsy222 helped with another notable game in this trailer, but seemingly wasn't up to much after 2008. In 2010, a person claiming to be Tingsy222 popped up and announced his return to Roblox. This went nowhere. Around March of 2015, the account was hacked, but fortunately any damage that may have been done was restored. Since then, nothing notable has happened with Stairway to Heaven or its skilled developer. Phoenix Fire Hangers was created in September of 2006 by Jacob XXDuel. It was a prominent Robloxian of his era, so much so that multiple people tried to impersonate him. Today, you'd probably recognize him under a different name. Phoenix Hangers was his first Roblox game, featuring a giant cliffside with a waterfall going down it into a stream. Across the stream is a massive tower not present in Reverse Polarity's upload of Phoenix Hangers. At the bottom of the cliff is a maze that deceives you into wasting your time because there's nothing there. Inside the cliff, however, is a curious assortment of things. As to what they are, some are obvious and some are less so. To get inside the cliff, you'd think you enter through one of these two waterfalls, but both lead to empty pits. Instead, you either have to walk through one wall and jump over another in the re-upload, or use ancient Roblox physics to your advantage in a recreation such as the one in Flex's Wayback Machine. As the re-upload's description states, Reverse Polarity has come a long way since Phoenix Hangers. In 2007, you could find him moderating the forums, winning contests, or uploading YouTube videos. He built the legendary Yorick's resting place for the 2008 Halloween treasure hunt with help from his brother, and then the 2009 Halloween event place with Stealth Pilot. During that time, Reverse Polarity still built games under his own profile. Eventually, he took a hiatus from Roblox to work an actual job. He went back to working on Roblox games when DevX was released. In the next few years, he changed his username a few times and became one of the first creators allowed to make UGCs. He still creates UGCs today, and in 2024 he won a Roblox Innovation Award for one of them. Besides UGC, Reverse Polarity, alongside a few other developers, are working on a game called Package Panic, and their studio has another game called Delve. Sunset Plain is a brick battle game by Schwabo, an alt account of the user Koopa. The map consists of an autumn forest containing multiple structures, and in one corner a large hill with a waterfall that leads to a cave. Shedletsky described it as an improvement in map quality for November of 2006, when it was released. He also featured the game in the first ever Roblox blog post in December. When creating Sunset Plain, Koopa wasn't even fully aware of Roblox's building features and took hours to create the impressive place. Sunset Plain was well remembered by the Roblox community in the following years as a classic place, and though the original place is closed, you can still find the map in many other places. This includes some loose inspirations as well. After Sunset Plain, Koopa became a Roblox legend, winning basically every rare event prize under the sun in 2007. Then he became a forum moderator. He created many more popular games and remained active in the community for a few years. He is now inactive and has only checked back into Roblox a handful of times. Roblox World Headquarters was built by Shedletsky in November of 2006 in the Builderman account's original place slot. When Shedletsky uploaded the trailer, the headquarters was a single tower with a big R attached to its side, standing for Roblox. If you walked into the basement, you'd find a few of Roblox's early employees, including Shedletsky himself. He blows them up. The game gave you access to a few of the classic brick battle tools, including the rocket launcher, which Shedletsky shows off in the video. It's not the worst damage anyone's ever done to the headquarters. Surrounding the HQ were a few buildings taken from the developer's earlier projects. In mid-2007, the headquarters received its second tower. In January of 2008, as part of a contest, our friends Koopa and Stealth Pilot, along with Mr. Doombringer and Coelho714, created Roblox HQ 2.0. Being a winner of the contest, it was uploaded to Builderman's account for all of Roblox to see. Neither the classic headquarters nor its second version are available to play on the Builderman account, as their places have been privated. Shedletsky's got it covered though. The original Roblox HQ was and still is very well remembered in many circles of the Roblox community. In all honesty though, the only exposure a newer player would have to most things in this video is in something like Forsaken. Ugh. Grey City was created by Shedletsky on his alt account Earl Grey in September of 2006. It features a few buildings, all built the same except in height. The buildings are also all derived from one made in June in a game called Architect's Place. Shedletsky gave players access to a few destructive weapons, including the bomb. When combined with each building being made of tiny parts, destroying buildings was satisfying but would also lag players' machines. Grey City did not receive any updates after its release, and the Earl Grey account ended up being used to store limited items. In 2017, the account was hacked and its items stolen, though they were quickly returned. Today, Earl Grey sits in the top 10 most valuable accounts by the value of their limited items. Pirate Ship was created in March of 2006 by Mike Rayhawk, a designer hired by Roblox in 2005 with previous experience working for LEGO. He published it under his account Brickmason, and the ship's detail was recognized by David Baszucki, as well as other members of the Roblox community at the time. However, Shedletsky did not find the detail satisfying. Nevertheless, it was displayed on Roblox's homepage well into 2007, and used to promote Roblox elsewhere. In that time, Mike Rayhawk created the logo, some badge icons, player character concepts, and website mockups. He kept in touch with Roblox for years after he stopped working with them in 2007, though he was prevented from collaborating with them again due to conditions in his contracts with other employers. One of those employers was, again, LEGO, who brought him back to work on Ninjago, which he actually had a part in creating. Haunted Mansion was created by Shedletsky in October of 2006 for Halloween. Hosted on an account called Arena 2, it was released as one of Roblox's official multiplayer brick battle games, with the brick battle weapons being modified to fit the Halloween theme. The slingshot launched skulls, the bomb was a pumpkin, the jet boots turned you into a ghost, and the rocket launcher was colored orange. The mansion is located on a hill, under which is a cave with a jail cell. Around the hill you'll find some trees, a pumpkin patch, a tiny playground, and a creek. Occasionally, lightning will strike and the sky will flash from black to yellow. The mansion's interior is colored to fit the spooky theme, though decorations for that purpose are only in a few rooms. As a free model, Haunted Mansion ended up widely used and recognizable past 2006. One example of its use is in natural disaster survival for the map Manic Mansion, and another is how famous developer Ultra used it to start his Roblox career.
What if I made a game where you had to escape Justin Bieber's house?
Allowing me to demonstrate my highest creativity. There is, also, of course. Ugh. Chaos Canyon was a brick battle game created by Shedletsky in August of 2006, though featuring models created by other players. He uploaded a video of Chaos Canyon gameplay to YouTube, and you can find some notable early Roblox users there. Chaos Canyon's map is divided into a few parts. The most prominent is the enclosed battle cube, built by Pilot Luke, two entrances of which neighbors Sadwater Village, which features the graveyard from Tinksy 222's Stairway to Heaven. Beside Sadwater Village is a hill highlighted by Yahoo's ruined temple with a cave underneath that connects to the Sky Bridge. To round out Chaos Canyon's locations is the complex, which is similar to the tower from Crossroads. The map remained basically the same until 2011, when it received a makeover in the form of new colors and textures. Chaos Canyon, like Roblox's other official brick battle games, remained relatively popular in the coming years and is still a well-known map today. The game is no longer available to play on the Roblox account, having been inaccessible for years and its place being deleted. Pilot Luke's Cloud City was created by Stealth Pilot on his at-the-time main account Pilot Luke in October of 2006. In the city, you can find a collection of builds and models, some taken from other games. Stealth Pilot did create much of this city himself, though, notably with the battle cube we saw from Chaos Canyon, a tower in the center that Shedletsky used for a version of Crossroads, and some plane models that were among the first of their kind on Roblox. Above the mishmash of builds are a few connected plots in the sky, more empty than built on. David Baszucki saw Stealth Pilot's place and found it awesome. The game was featured on Roblox's homepage as a cool place. In the years that immediately followed this recognition, the game was still seen by quite a few Robloxians. Unfortunately for Cloud City, however, another game sharing the name gained popularity which many players seemed to dislike. In 2010, Pilot Luke's Cloud City was used to obtain one of that year's Giftsplosion presents. 6 years later, it received its last update. While the game is not joinable today due to Roblox's age rating update, the map can still be seen and played on in Roblox Studio because of the game's uncopy locked status. Lawrence Yemit's place was built in October of 2006 by Lawrence Yemit, who was only a little kid at the time. His brother is Draco Swordmaster, who happened to be a master of a few other things Roblox. Lawrence Yemit's place featured two cut-off sections of a city separated by a river with a highway cutting through. The city's buildings aren't furnished, but are quite satisfying to destroy. By 2007, Lawrence had replaced the city build, and the next year his account was hacked. He moved to other accounts, remaining active on them and regaining access to his old account in July of 2010. Fast forward to 2023, and the search for Roblox's oldest active, non-admin player was launched by Creekcraft, with definitive proof that the person who created the account still owned it. That player ended up being Lawrence Yemit. Doomspire and Towers was purportedly created by Leor_net in November of 2006. These details are unclear as there aren't any archives that can fully verify them, but some evidence points toward them being accurate. At the time, it was only a brown baseplate with some free models placed on it, notably Leaves Doomspire. Assuming the game was created by Leor_net, it was quickly updated to feature only the Doomspire and became remembered as the original Doomspire place. In 2010, Leor_net's username was changed to Leornet, no underscore, when Roblox removed underscores from players' usernames. Leornet was banned sometime after the username change. Despite the ban, Leornet's Doomspire place remained up until last month when Roblox deleted it and millions of other games for their creators not being age estimated. Rox25's huge slide was built by Rox25 in November of 2006. He used an earlier version of Crossroads as a template and built his huge slide above the hospital, beside which laid a regular-sized slide. Atop the huge slide was a box for players to put themselves in, which they could release down the slide by moving a wall. The box would regenerate so players could have another run down the slide. Rox25 eventually replaced his slide place with other games beginning in 2007, most recently with a pathfinding test in 2012. He participated in and won a few events, winning himself a domino crown in the process and eventually moving his slide place to an alt account he previously used for a contest. Whether or not that place still contains the slide is unknown, as the game cannot be joined today. If you want to see more videos like this, maybe for Shedletsky's 2008 trailer, leave a like on the video and subscribe so you'll know if it comes out. If you have any other video ideas, leave them in the comments for me to see. Thanks for watching to the end.